Turkish 5th. Jener fighter jet Kaan successfully continues flight tests within the scope of the National Combat Aircraft Kaan project, which was initiated by the Presidency of Turkiye's Presidency of Defense Industries, SSB, to meet the Air Force Command's need for combat aircraft and developed by Turkish Aerospace Industries, TAI. The second flight was successfully carried out. According to the statement made by the officials, Kaan, which performed its second flight today, stayed in the air for 14 minutes and managed to reach an altitude of 10,000 feet and a speed of 230 knots. Haluk Gurgun, president of the Presidency of Defense Industries, met with the test pilots and the project team after Kaan's second flight. Stating that another historic moment had taken place, Gurgun expressed his gratitude for being able to witness this together. Stating that they were excited and proud at the same time, Gurgun said, "We have witnessed another important day in the history of Turkish aviation and Turkish defense. Our manned fighter jet made its second flight today. It had completed its first flight on February 21st. It had successfully completed the first flight as planned. Today, after the data obtained after that first flight was evaluated and analyzed, the preparations for the second flight were completed, and we carried out our second flight this morning." Pointing out that the second flight was very successful, just like the first flight, Gurgun said, "The data received during this flight will be evaluated by the entire team, and preparations for the next flights will continue. We would like to thank all our employees, engineers, pilots, and test pilots for their efforts, and wish the best of luck to our nation." Of course, everyone was in an unbelievable excitement. Everyone was praying for this flight to take place in the early hours of the morning, and everyone was waiting for the first takeoff and landing with hope. Fortunately, there was a good atmosphere. All the employees made an effort to be here. We all experienced this moment together. I wish all the best. Kaan made its first flight with its new paint scheme. The production activities of Kaan, which has all the capabilities of the fifth-generation fighter aircraft such as high maneuverability, low radar visibility, avionic architecture open to development, increased situational awareness, precision targeting, and interoperability, started in March 2022. Component assemblies were completed between May and November 2022, and the final assembly line was commissioned in November 2022. Following the intensive system tests carried out in December 2022 and January 2023, Kaan exited the hangar ahead of schedule on February 10, 2023, and the first engine startup was carried out on February 12, 2023. On March 17, 2023, the first slow taxi tests were successfully completed. In the period leading up to the first flight, the reinforcement activities required for the first flight were carried out and pre-flight tests were completed. The National Combat Aircraft Kaan made its first flight on February 21, 2024. Simultaneously, the aircraft and system requirements for the configuration to be delivered to the Air Force Command were defined, air and system functions were determined, and the preliminary design phase was completed. The technical specifications of Kaan, which made its first flight in its new painted form, include the following: maximum cruise speed, Mach 1.8, altitude ceiling, 55,000 FT, power limits, Puline G 3.5G, internal weapon mount, supersonic capability, low radar signature, multi-mission profile, air-to-air capability, air-land capability. Thanks for watching. Subscribe Defense Lab's YouTube channel for aviation and defense industry news and updates.